Well, is there a reason why I have this silly grin across my face? Is it plastered across your face? Plastered on my face. Plastered across. I think we're forgetting these these subtle use of these words, plastered across your face. Because what tends to happen is in this culture where we live, where we say, I'm going to send across this email, or we're going to, send across things which can't really be sent across. So we use these words, plastered across your face, which makes sense because it's across my face. And if those of you who really didn't get context to why I said that, I was grinning like a fucking, what's that cat in Alice in Wonderland? Who the fuck is Alice in Wonderland, right? Cheshire Cat? Is that maybe? I'm a little hesitant with certain words. You can probably, if you listen to this podcast, tell sometimes I'm like, Cheshire Cat? Just say it under my breath because then I don't really commit to a blunder. But at the same time, I don't sound very confident about what I'm saying. And people want confidence from their podcasters nowadays. They want people who can have this sense of believing, and even if it's complete bullshit, I mean, this is what we want from our auditors, right? Even if you look at our leaders of state, they might not believe it, they might not understand it, they might not even think, and they know it's a lie, but they say it, and they say it completely committed to the idea that yes, all statues are the sign of progress, Pegasus. You know what I mean? So, Cheshire Cat. See, there you go. How hard is it, Sundeep? My pop filter is drooping. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm doing this on a Sunday. It's a commitment I have to you, the listener. I love it. I was also bored. I don't know if it really is because of my commitment to you. Just that I was like, fuck, it's something to do. I spent, a couple of episodes, guys, by the way, are coming up sooner than you would believe. Interviewed a couple of lovely human beings, and I'm going to put them out on the SoapyRao show. And of course, just a little housekeeping that I have to do. Welcome to the podcast. If you're a first timer here, you should definitely try Three Fingers. If you're a regular, you know what I'm talking about. Fist, man. Hey, anyhow, if you do like this podcast, do tell your friend and tell them as well. Three Fingers. So, why am I doing this today? Well, it's a big time in the world, is it? It's always a big time. I just read this morning that Athens is burning. We, of course, like to call it Athens, but people out there do call it Athens. And we're like, yuck, Athens and all, you can't call, but it's pathetic that you call it Athens. It's Athens, man. Pathetic that you call it Athens. Pathetic. Great word, great word. When we say it, it just has a different meaning. Pathetic is, of course, how many people across the world and many people who speak the language natively will call it. But we believe that when we say, that fellow and all pathetic behavior, it just has a very Indian connotation to it, which I think adds a new flavor to the patheticism of that person's behavior. So when you say, man, the plight of let me put it with the accent. The plight of those brigands was pathetic. It sounds like those brigands were in a pathetic plight. But when you say it like, those bastard fellows, pathetic, it was pathetic. It just sounds like they have fungus growing on their testicles, right? It just adds this flavor of curry to the patheticism of their testicles. Did I say testicles? No, I didn't mean to say testicles. I meant to say that plight of the bastard brigands was pathetic. So it might be a word that is mispronounced, and people be like, Indian people cannot pronounce the word right. We might not. I agree with you, sir, but we have our own meaning to the word that we add when we mispronounce it. Pathetic. It just apparently, see? Apparently, what is it? Apparently, of course, how many of you would say it? Apparently, she seemed to be a lovely human being, but on the side, she was a skank who slept with her trainer. Apparently. But apparently, she's just a whore. No, just saying apparently. It just has a different ring to it, especially said with conviction of confidence that the Indian accent imbibes or imbues. See that again? I just imbues. I pull back at the last minute, like just before you enter, right? Just like that last thing. Should I? Shouldn't I do it? Does it have AIDS? Just kind of you pull out at the last minute. So imbued. Imbued is the right word. So apparently, the Indian accent is good. See, the thing is, if a person with an American accent or Canadian, whatever the Canadian accent, it's American accent or Australian accent, and that sounded horrible, or a British accent, or any accent which is Britishly native, whatever the word is, if they say apparently, mate, just sound like as though you have nothing to look forward to in life. Even the pub around the corner is like, fuck off, mate, fuck off, Dave, fuck off. You can't come around here saying, apparently, mate. That sounds like Russell Brand. Apparently, mate, the world is a place where all of us have to undermine the establishment which is out to perpetuate the capitalistic agenda and as a result oppress the downward masses, mate. Apparently. You can't say that. But if I go on a panel, say the BBC, and they're like, we have with us the panelist, Mr. Rao, who's an expert at nothing but a genius at everything. What do you have to say? And apparently, he meant to say, apparently, and apparently, according to Mr. Rao, the world is absolutely fine, but just with the perception of being fucked. Apparently. Yeah. We are doing this. I feel we are converting the world's pronunciation of words, just one syllable at a time. We're fucking doing it. This is how we will take over the world one day, where you have someone graduating from Oxford who's done a master's in English literature, walking around saying pathetic and apparently. What are some other words you've heard, man? I'm sure there are a lot, and they're just not coming to the tip of my tongue, or they're not coming into my head. But I'm sure that you've heard a bunch of the Indianized English words. That's not it. But what I mean is Indians taking their own take on words and giving it an entire new meaning, which I think is great. But of course, we have to compete on the world stage, and that's what's happening at the Olympics. That guy, brilliant. Fucking beat the world at their own sport. Javelin. Amazing. Well, he put his javelin into someone's pit. Hey, that's an innuendo. Putting your javelin. Mr. Neeraj Chopra, congratulations. I'm glad you stuck your javelin hard in Tokyo. But it's amazing. It's amazing that we produce these athletes when we are so culturally against people who are not cricketers. Even hockey is now getting something, but kabaddi, I mean, of course, now through money, everything's getting some attention, but inherently, not really respecting people. Always have a backup plan. See, if you are pathetic at javelin, what will you do? People will judge you that you went around throwing some pokey thing at some ground and nothing happened. Now look at him, he's working in at least do a BPO job. See, if you give that backup plan, that thing, at least do something, at least you have to have money. This is what happens. You don't produce anything worthwhile. You just produce a generation, a country full of mediocre people who are scared to fail and who are happy and content with nowadays so-called pursuing your passion, which is also comes with a safety net, which also comes with a very Indian connotation of don't go in wholehearted, just try it a little bit, put one subscriber here, one subscriber there, and once some Indians succeed, like Peter Russell did good comedy, now we can do comedy, and apparently he's very, very rich. Then once you see the profitability of it, very good, that's when you fucking follow like sheep. But otherwise, we're not very frontierish in our way, right? Once a couple of white people have gone to the top of the mountain, fallen off, we're like, yeah, it's not very safe here. We'll wait for a little bit roads to come and some ladders. Yeah, so we don't really have that. And of course, I'm not saying every Indian. There are the odd ones, the outliers, maybe you want to call them. But we're not really encouraged to sort of go in wholehearted and completely take the plunge. It's a little bit of like, you know what, if I'm coming, can you hold my hand? It's kind of this community approach. Like, if I go in my whole joint family, which is, I think, in a way good, because we were a little bit more worried about the tribe and we'd look out for each other. But if you apply certain principles, if you kind of take the selfish nature of being what the West might represent for each man, each woman, or each gender for themselves, a gender, then you apply that to this joint thing. It's a kind of like a basket of crab. No, don't do that. Very, very bad, very, very bad. What will they say about you? You're going like bow and arrow. It is great that in our Hindu mythology there was bow and arrow, but you cannot go doing it because it is not progressive. How will they say? What will they say if you're going around a bow and arrow? Do not do it. You'll be very arrow-minded, is what many families do sound like. But good for this guy. And javelin is one of those things which is fucking Leonidas. I've heard the word pronounced as Leonidas, which of course was in the movie 300, where Gerard Butler was Leonidas, the head of the 300 who stood at the gates of Thermopylae. Very, very Greek sounding indeed. Hello, Spartans. How's it going? Let's go down and fight the fucking Persians, man. Down to the gates of Thermopylae, motherfuckers. Let's go get them. Bang, 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 wham, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. Hoo-ha. Oh, I mean, ahoo, hee-ha. Wrong movie, John Wayne, indeed, motherfucker. Come over here, Alessandro Ioannis. Hey. There was one guy called Titus who just clenched all the time. He was a tight ass. And the Persians are coming. He's like, ooh, he's bending over, facing the enemy, going, give it to me if you can. And then one Persian threw it really, really far. 87.5 meters, he threw his javelin and it poked Titus. As you might have guessed, in the tight ass. And then he became losers. This is my history lesson for you on this beautiful, God-blessed day of things in this planetary sense. It's a new moon. Tight ass. It's a new moon. I'm recording this on a Sunday, if you're wondering. I think it's going to come out tomorrow, which is a Monday. That's what happens. What happens after a Sunday is a Monday, which is a day before Tuesday, which is 2 days before a Wednesday and 3 days after a Saturday. 2 days after a Saturday. I fucked that up. But good for this guy. Because, of course, things are different. Boxing, wrestling, all these things are old, ancient sports which were around during, as I told you on previous episodes, the Greek Olympics was their sport. Yeah, they're not doing very well right now. They're just trying to put out fires. That seems to be their primary occupation, which I hope they do sooner than later, because it's a gorgeous old city and no one deserves to see this kind of conflagration envelop their homes and their countryside and their surroundings and their familiar things, because it's not nice for anyone to go through it, whether it's Greeks, whether it's Russians, whether it's Indians. No one deserves to, and I think collectively we're in this shithole together and we need to help each other. But while they were putting out their fire, Neeraj Chopra went and stuck his javelin in the Tokyo soil to win. Yeah, fucking gold, that's brilliant. Now, during PT class, schools aren't open yet, but watch how every PT master will be like, boys and girls, you will take your javelins and throw them as far as you can. And if you hit something with your pointy end, I will be so proud of you. But yeah, 300 was very Americanized, as every fucking historical remake by Hollywood is, right? And of course now it's culturally inappropriate to put some white guy as a brown man or a black man. So they're getting anyone to fulfill these roles. In fact, I've been offered something. Yeah. But I don't have to cast as an actor, but I have to do something which is inherently me, which is play a visually impaired person. But I don't know if I'm going to get it. I don't know. I have to do an audition. I'll keep you updated on that journey and let you know if they cast me or forecast me or do something with a cast, break my leg and put me in a cast, maybe. But that's something. But I don't get this. I think the other one extreme of having, just any actor play every sort of culture or color or whatever is a bit of a problem, because I don't think it's just justice to the role. But at the same time, just to make people happy, having every kind of human type or human kind of, what's the word? Kind of human out there with every kind of combination, permutation, just because it sort of tick boxes your company or your production house to look politically correct or woke. That's fucking bullshit, man. The story determines a certain kind of character. Whether a person writes it, I write a certain story. I'm not saying that I want my character to be portrayed by, Gerard Butler or anything like that. But if there's a certain character that demands certain things, fucking do it. And, what happened there? That was kind of like a throat squeak. Anyhow, so, yeah, but that was a little thing because... the word Leonidas, I've heard it pronounced also as Leonidas. Leonidas. Yeah, I like those names. Just has a bit of gravity to it, Leonidas. There's some other names. I can't, for the life of me, remember them. I read the book. It's called Gates of Hell. Was it by Stephen Pressfield? I think it could have been by Stephen Pressfield. Narrated by Gerard Doyle. Great narrator. I go by the narrators nowadays. Gerard Doyle. He also narrates some of the books by Daniel Silva, if you read that author, who's got the Gabriel Allon series, who's a Mossad agent. Yeah, probably not the biggest hero at these times, but he's also an art historian. That makes the story interesting. So boom, 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 Beretta. And then it's like, ooh, is that a Caravaggio? Spraying in all directions, literally. But This episode is to congratulate Mr. Neeraj Chopra, if you're listening out there. And I don't understand. I just kind of briefly, when I was on Google News, which is my primary source of news, read the fucking people on Twitter demanding cars from Anand Mahindra. Give, who's that chick? Give Sindhu some car. I don't know what car. No, he's Mahindra, right? So, forgot car. Yeah. I think they asked her. They asked him to give her a Thar, which is that Jeep, and they asked Javelin to give Javelin this point. Give something at least that looks like a Javelin, like but they asked him to give him a XUV, which is XUV 700. I don't know what the fuck that is. I thought it's a 550 or 500. But yeah, just imagine they have a parade after the Olympics and all the winners are sitting in their respective Mahindras, and of course, as the gold medalist, he's leading the parade in his XUV, and then Sindhu's just like, I can't turn it, dude. I'm a badminton player, not a fucking power lifter. This has no power steering. Congratulations to Sindhu as well. Not like she's going to be listening, but there's a true story of the true winner, who's Aditi Ashok, apparently, the girl who came fourth in the golfing category. Fuck. Man, I don't know. Why I think, is chess a part of the Olympics? I don't know. I think maybe you should introduce yoga. As my wife said, we should introduce yoga as an Olympics sport. Let me know what your thoughts on that are. And of course, I'm gonna wipe up. I'm going to wipe up here because I made a mess of myself talking about all these Greek soldiers and the Spartans. Very, very Spartan setup, though. I have walls. Yeah, the Spartan setup came up from there because they lived a very Spartan life. And they came up with this way of speaking called laconic way of speaking, which is very Spartan. Yeah, something I've taught you today. But yeah, they didn't go around saying things like, I will stab you with my javelin, you pathetic fool who apparently eats all day. That would have been a great line. Ahoo, ahoo. Yeah. Second time the Spartans are making a feature. Yes, anyhow, I will keep you updated on the things that are coming along my way. Let me know what you think about all these things happening in Hollywood, casting people for the sake of fulfilling certain agendas, what's going on with the world of Indians, kind of making the words their own. And what do you think about Mr. Neeraj Chopra? I hope I got the name right, because that'll be a bit of a boo-boo. And congratulations, I salute you. And I think we really need to encourage people like this who want to take a chance and give them the safety net that they don't have to take. As a government, you fuckers, give them some help. Give them a sense that go ahead and do it, because only when they win, it's like the pride of India is behind you. Oh, fucking show it before they make it, right? Show it when they are trying, when they're endeavoring every day, waking up early, throwing javelin, swimming, doing whatever they are doing, punching, boxing, jumping, and doing things for the sport which they love. Support them then, not after the fact. Oh, when we will build a statue. Fuck that, you guys. So, yeah, join me in supporting these guys. I don't know, I want to support them, but I will support them on this podcast, and I will salute the effort that they made. Every single Indian who's made it to the Olympics, against all odds, the biggest odd being the lack of infrastructure and support from the Indian government, or the Indian mindset. You have fought that and gone to do the thing that you love doing. So, on a sentimental note, I salute you. And I salute anyone who dedicates their entire sort of being to this particular thing that they believe that they are born to do. So good for you guys, because we need more of that, as opposed to the 90% that's in the middle. That is just, this subsisting in mediocrity. I may be one of them, I'm first to admit, but we need some of you make our lives exciting. Yeah, there you go. That's another Indian thing. EG, exciting. So thank you for making our lives exciting and doing what you do, whether it's sport, whether it's adventure, whether it's writing, whether it's great podcasts like this, whatever it may be. I salute you. I appreciate you. Take care of yourselves and enjoy this time that we live in. And I hope all of you listening, if you're in Greece or wherever the wildfires are, hope you're safe. And yeah, take care of yourselves, man. So it's a tough time around the world, but we'll get through this one way or the other. Till next time. Oh, I should do it more nicely. Okay, till next time, my friends. Take care of yourselves, and God bless. Cheers.